Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope all of you are fine. After a gap of 8 days, once again I am in front of you with a new lesson. Today we are going to see 2.5. Let's march. Okay, so let's march now. Before going to the text, let us discuss warming up activity. I am on page number 76. On page number 76, you can see first warming up activity which is given is observe the picture and answer. So you have to differentiate, or you have to tell the difference between the two pictures. Two pictures are given. One picture is of a boy who is carrying the bricks, and the another is a boy who is going to school, and you have to write the difference between these two pictures. Main difference between two images, change required, and your contribution as a student to help and make difference to the needy children. I hope you understood what it's asking. It's asking the two picture, what these two pictures suggest. These two pictures are suggesting us that one boy is there who is going to school, who is looking very happy, and in another picture a small boy is there who is collecting the bricks to carry somewhere to the construction site, and he is looking very gloomy, very sad, though he is very small. And what it suggests that there is a need to change this scenario, this picture. The small kids, in spite of doing some labor work, they should be in the school, and that's why it is the second question which is given here. Question in the sense, the thing which is asked is change required. Do you think the change is required? Yes, of course. All of we believe that whatever the picture is suggesting, in that there must be a change. And what you have to do, so you have to mention your opinion there. Okay. Then the important question is given that every one of us talk about there is a change in this picture. There should not be child labor. Small children must get right to go to the school, but still many small kids all over India, not only in India, all over the world are engaged in such kind of labor work. On different sites we see such students, such children. And that's why the third thing which is asked is that what will be your contribution, what will you do to bring this change. Understood? Every one of us talk this should happen, that should happen, government should do this, NGOs should do this, they should do this, but what we do? We don't do anything. And that's why every one of us feel actually that we should contribute at least to some extent to change this scenario, but we do not do this. But here it is asking you what you will do if you will get the chance to change this picture. So you have to write your responses there, remember that. Okay. Then the second thing, let's march is basically a speech. Let's march is basically a speech. Like last lesson we completed, that was 3 stories by Steve Jobs. So this is all, that was a speech. This is also a speech, and this is a very good specimen of a speech. And that's why the second activity is asking good speech delivered requires the following characteristics. Which are the characteristics you think that a good speech must be? For example, well planned and thoughts well organized. Okay, that is, of course, it is obviously for anything, not only for speech, for everything it is needed. So for that you can do a tick there, right tick. Okay. Delivered softly in a low voice. So do you think that whenever we deliver a speech, so we should deliver it in a low voice? No. So what you have to do, you have to cross that in the given box. In that way you have to complete the remaining things also. For example, third, let us take third also. Speaker need not to greet the dignitaries and audience. Obviously, when since your childhood you are seeing your teachers, the guest which comes in your school, even your colleagues, when they give the speech in speech competition, various speech competitions, they greet the audience as well as the guest or the dignitaries which are on the dais. In the beginning of the speech, we begin with that only, we address them, we greet them. Okay, that is very very important. And he says it is not necessary, means this is also a cross one. So you have to complete this, just go through it, read one by one and complete it. Next one is read the expression and insert them in a proper column, put the proper expression number in the right column. Okay, some expressions are given, around 12 expressions are given there, and what you have to do, we have to find out that expressions, whether in which box that expressions will go. For example, let us take first one. Okay, imagine after 10 years what will happen. Now this expression, when we generally use such kind of expression in a speech, so we use such kind of expression at the conclusion part. So a conclusion is given, 1 2 3 3 fourth box is given a conclusion. So what you can do, you can put that, you just have to write the number 1, that number 1 is you have to write in that box. Okay, greeting, salutation, honorable chief guest, eminent dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. When we use this we use in the greeting part of the speech, right? And that's why this number 3, where will you write, you will write this number 3 in first box. Understood? This is very easy one. And this, see, especially remember one thing, you too have to write a speech in your board exam. Now these expression, whatever expressions are given, these are very very important expressions. Remember all these expressions, and you can use this expression in your speech writing also. This will be helpful for your writing activity also. So go through this and try to find out, this, because many times we have seen this and complete and did this before also. Number 4 activity which is given in a warm up activity is, with the help of your teacher and classmates, make a list of as many Indian Nobel laureates as you can. You can use internet or a school library. So now you are at home, so it is better if you will use internet. What it's actually asking, it's asking how many laureates, how many dignitaries from India got Nobel Prize in any of the field. We know Nobel Prize every year, someone from all over some of the dignitary from the world get a Nobel Prize in different sections. There is a Nobel Prize for peace, Nobel Prize for literature, Nobel Prize for science, for physics, for chemistry, for maths, for a lot of categories are there. And from India, many people got a Nobel till date. Abhijit Banerjee, if you remember, the last person who got Nobel Prize from India for economics, he was Abhijit Banerjee. So you can put his name also. And the first person who got Nobel from our country, we know every day we sing that. And what is that? In 1913, Rabindranath Tagore got Nobel Prize. Yes. So in that way, what you have to do, you have to mention the names. For example, Rabindranath Tagore, then C.V. Raman got, then Mother Teresa got, then Harbinder Khurana got, then who is that from C.V. Raman again, he got that. And yes, the important person, one more important person who actually got Nobel Prize for working for the children, he is Mr. Kailash Satyarthi. Don't forget him, because he is working for children, and for that he got Nobel Prize. So in that way you have to write as many as whatever names you will get, and then Nobel Prize for what they got Nobel Prize. For example, Abhijit Banerjee got for economics, so you can write economics here. Okay, in that way you have to complete this. Now let us come to page number 78, and let us start the text. Let's march. Okay. I hope before instead of starting it today, tomorrow we will start this let's march, and we will continue. So have a read, have just go through it, and see what part you will understand from this. Okay. For today, let us conclude here only. Thank you. Have a nice day.